welcome to another episode of After Midnight Reviews. I am Janet Perkins, and with me always is the very handsome Sam Bates.
Hi, everybody.
Today we are going to be taking a look at Zack Snyder's remake of George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. We're going to take a quick peek.
The story revolves around a world that's been overrun by zombies. Zombies, that's absolutely brilliant. That sells. A small group of survivors are stuck in a shopping mall. It stars two of my favorite actors, Sarah Polley and Vin Rames.
So, Sam, what I'd like to know is, how did you personally feel when you found out that George A. Romero's cult classic was being remade on the silver screen?
Well, Janet, to tell you the truth, when I first heard this movie was being remade, I was pretty upset. So what I did is I waited till I heard a few positive things about it, and then I went and saw the movie for myself.
And while you may have hesitated, you did go and you did pay the money to see that movie, and these movies are making tons of cash.
Of course, we're not talking about little amounts of money, we're talking about millions. Romero's classic took in $26 million in the first week alone.
Now that is a huge opening weekend. Okay, quickly we're going to switch gears here. What I would like to know is what makes a successful horror remake. That is truly what I'd really like to know, because what we have seen over like the 80s is tons of horrors coming in, and they haven't really done that well with the critics or at the box offices. So what I need to know is, what is it that makes them successful?
Well, Janet, what you want to do is you have to take many things into account. As history has shown us, you want to reinvent the film. So use the original as a blueprint, and then you go from there with your idea.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're getting at. Now what I want to talk about is what I would like to call a powerhouse horror remake.
Well, since 1990, we've seen 4 so-called powerhouse remakes being redone. The first was Romero's Night of the Living Dead in 1990 by Tom Savini, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho in 1998 by Gus Van Sant, Tobe Hooper's Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 2003 by Marcus Nispel, and George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead in 2004 by Zack Snyder.
Exactly, and now only 2 of those 4 movies had the correct formula, right?
That is absolutely correct, Janet. The first, Night of the Living Dead and Psycho, failed. In my opinion, the writers tried so hard to source the original material, they didn't give us anything new. They just tried to fix something that was never really broken.
Ah, now there's a line for you. Fix something that was never broken. Now, by any chance, are you referring to Gus Van Sant's remake of Psycho?
Of course. First off, you never ever remake a Hitchcock film. Directors today can't do what he was able to do 40 years ago. Second, of all films to remake, Psycho, Gus Van Sant was frame for frame, shot for shot, the exact same as Hitchcock. If he was alive today, he would have kicked him in the gonads.
Okay, you know, I agree with you, but now, the 2 most recent remakes, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Dawn of the Dead, your thoughts?
They both worked well and were successful because they changed the movie to make it their own. Texas was close, a few major scenes changed, and the movie had great direction from first-time director Marcus Nispel. In Dawn, if it wasn't for the mall and the title of the movie, we'd be looking at something completely different.
Yep. See, I totally agree with you there as well. I remember when I went and saw the remake of Dawn of the Dead, I pretty much realized that everything that I loved so much about the original movie was completely erased. Like, of course, there was the exploding heads and the gore and whatnot, but George A. Romero was more of a social commentary. I remember the great development in his movies and his nihilistic visions of consumerism, and that is what makes George A. Romero such an amazing filmmaker.
Well, in Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead remake, he's a flashy action-adventure film with horror thrown in the mix. I think that's what he's going for, more of a popcorn flick. People had fun with it and didn't ask any questions about it.
Oh, totally. You know, hands down, it's a great movie. It's a lot of fun to watch. It scared the crap out of me, but, you know, it's supposed to be leaving you breathless at the end of it. So right now we're going to check a clip of my favorite scene.
Holy shit. You got him.
Okay, now quickly, Sam here, what do you give it out of 10?
An 8. It's not the original, it's not trying to be. It's fun, lots of action, love the zombies, 8 out of 10, fun movie.
Fine, I give it 8.5, but guess what? That doesn't matter because we're all out of time. So check in with us next week while we check out George A. Romero's original Dawn of the Dead and a look back in cinematic history.
Good night.